All right.
We need to verify their story.
So, when last we left, fellow adventurers, you had just fended off a demon attack, and when I say fended off, I mean you slaughtered every last one of them. And I believe Cole and Waga had fallen asleep. I think Sky had gone back to sleep, if I remember correctly.
Sky was
She
unconscious. She
she
Oh
passed
yeah,
out,
she was. Yeah, she fainted. So yeah, she went back to sleep.
and I
She
heroically
went
grabbed
to
her.
sleep.
Details. One thing before we get started, I do want to point out, or a gentle reminder, especially for like Keen, is that I think you guys do, and I could be wrong on this, but I think you guys get too stuck on only healing using potions. Because I know last session you kept trying to use a potion to heal when you could have just used a regular recovery without drawing any attacks of opportunity. So just like a friendly, if you guys need to, you can just recover. It's not as
We
effective.
just heal.
Yeah, but you
That-
don't. But you don't need to draw like because I remember especially he was trying to drink a potion, but of course drinking the potion would draw an attack of opportunity. Regular recoveries do not do such a thing.
There's a 13th
They
age
don't?
mechanic called Rally. It takes your
Yeah.
standard action and it does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Correct.
You can rally at least once per battle. To attempt to do so again, I think takes a normal save. And failing that save, you don't lose anything.
Correct.
You just can't.
Well,
So-
okay then.
Yeah. So basically, and I was thinking about that. I didn't even think of it during the fight because everything was so hectic. But afterwards, I was like, well, he could have rallied, but I even forgot about that.
I
So
completely
yeah,
forgot about it.
potions are always great, but especially now that you're level 3, and your recoveries are 3 die, never hesitate. As like he said, it takes a standard action, but it does not draw any attacks of opportunity. So if you can't get away from them, never hesitate to rally if you need to.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
I like that.
So a couple of things did happen off camera, so to speak, off session, which was you guys debating on what you wanted to do next. And one thing that I want to refresh you guys on was Lady Celine. Does everyone know that? Did you guys read that part of the chat where you
I read
contacted
the
Lady Celine
entire
through
chat.
Chip?
In fact, it'd be really nice if everyone read it. We can just continue our conversation from there rather than just rehashing everything for
I am
everyone.
absolutely fine with that if everyone's good to go.
Cool.
Sure.
All right then, you talk away.
Finn's angry at this point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jarek has like one of his legs crossed over in his folding chair, like, why God, why am I doing
Finn's just glaring at Jarek.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the morning of, or is this still like right after the?
I'm assuming it's still right after.
Yeah.
All right, then my character is asleep.
There's no good way about this. Either we go forward, and there's very possibility that this is a trap and we're playing into someone's hands. That's a possibility. Or we go back, and the consequences of that possibility are the gem is used and we are in no position to stop anything. So the question is what consequence are we comfortable with? It's two hard choices. So instead of thinking about what could happen or what could we do, what consequence? The worst thing that can happen, what can we live with and what can't we live with? I, for one, like this world. And although it's true, Jarek, I think very similar to you. But not in everything, just in this. But it's more likely a trap. It's more likely playing into their plans, and it would be pretty foolish just to rush in. But the consequences of us not doing that is the gem is used, and something fucking horrible is going to come. And I like this world the way it is. It's pretty shitty, but, you know, there's no whatever the hell it is, entities, gods, fucking more of these things, and Pearson, you know, kicks at one of the corpses. I don't want one of these. I don't want this to happen. So I'd rather walk into a trap rather than just sit back trying to spring my own and then have the world fall apart around us.
Jarek snorts derisively. There's 3 of you, then. Of course. Perhaps you'll come to your senses after you sleep. Just like gestures a hand, like waving you off. I'll watch over you.
Fair enough, I do need to sleep. And Cullimore just kind of meanders back towards where he kept his bedroll and everything, and gets a little bit more rest. Over the past couple of days, very little sleep has been had.
Can you guys feel that? It's almost like Inferno's channeling true feelings into this.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Jarek's eyes swivel from the retreating Cullimore to just cut and glare at Finian.
What are we gonna do with Sky?
Oh, you worry about that now.
Oh my god. How snort. Sorry, Ellie. Jesus Christ. Can't. Okay. How heavy is Sky? Squee?
I'd say like 110 pounds.
Can Finn lift her up?
With effort.
Okay, Finn's gonna
Bend with the legs, not with the back.
pick up Sky and take her over here
Keen
to
will
this
help.
like little. Thank you, Keen. Yeah, so she can watch over Sky while Sky is unconscious and
You do
away from the
realize you weaklings need to sleep as well, correct?
Would you shut your face?
Try not to speak so loud, you'll disturb Sky.
Oh my god.
She was just fine
You
within my
shut your
tent.
face, you asshole.
I sleep talking.
She was just fine within my tent, you do realize.
Your tent has a giant hole in it.
I plan on patching that. You just plan on putting her on the ground instead of on my bedroll?
Yes, that's creepy.
Jarek, like, his face, like, freezes. He dehydrates it and just shakes his head. Just going to let it go.
Potato salad.
Are you gonna be able to watch over her?
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about me.
All right. I'm gonna go. Go lay down on the bench again.
This is going to be a wonderful morning for the two of us, Finian.
Please don't talk to me.
Jarek actually, moves the tent a little bit.
And everyone but Jarek is lulled to sleep by the chainsaw rhythmic snoring of Wagga.
It's fine.
Shall we skip to the next morning?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, we'll say it's well, actually, I guess it would kind of be either up to Jarek when he wants to wake them, or when you guys get up on your own, depending on.
I'm not waking those insipid fools before they're ready to wake up. It's already hard enough to argue and discuss logic with them the way it is. I'm not going to have them be tired in the process.
Then I leave it to you guys when you want to wake up. Nothing eventful happens for the rest of the night, so kind of your choice of when you get up.
I get up when I'm no longer tired. No, just kidding. That's wishful thinking.
I'll get up at about 10 a.m.
And
My character will most likely naturally get up somewhere around 7.
Oh,
Yeah, dawn.
Yeah, I think
Sunrise.
Cullimore would do the same thing. Pearson. Yeah.
All right.
Jarek's finished patching his tent. He's just, sitting in the folding chair looking over at Sky and, unfortunately, Finian in the process. Just tapping fingers against his neck. What did she mean by that's creepy, idiot? It's a bedroll.
Still on about that hours later.
Well, he doesn't have much else to do.
Got a lot of time to
Yeah.
think.
A 12 intelligence golf means so that Jarek can't even fathom what Finian's talking about.
All right. Fresh brains and fresh eyes after we do our morning routine of feeding ourselves and other such things.
You gonna wake up, Keen?
Not yet. No. Yeah, I'm gonna wake up the bounty hunter. Why not? It'll
Okay.
be actually slightly entertaining.
All right. He's going to be startled awake and fall off of the bench.
Kellamore will give a smirk, and that's it. Rise and shine.
Mhm.
No rest for the wicked, or at the very least, demon bait.
Jack's like, I get it.
Kellamore is like, I wasn't joking. We are
I
demon
know.
bait. Yeah.
I know.
All right. Okay.
All right. It's a bit of a chilly morning. Autumn's starting to fall, so nothing that you guys are freezing from, but you guys all wake up a little bit cold, and
Oof. It's
yeah,
unpleasant.
Not me. I had a buddy.
you had a buddy.
Spooning with each other.
It's
Who's the
okay.
big spoon?
My blood is black.
Okay.
Wagga gets up and starts yawning, and believe it or not, starts brushing his teeth. Which I will say that none of you who have ever seen an orc, except for maybe Cole, because I'm not sure of Cole's hygiene habits, but have never seen an orc do that.
Kellamore barely does it.
Orc do that. People do that.
Yeah.
So
It's like, oh yeah, brushing your teeth. It's good for you.
okay. So you did
Someone
mention
wake-
something. Oh, sorry.
No, I was
Are
just
you,
gonna
is
say,
Stephanie
did
still
someone?
asleep?
Yeah, I think Finn's still asleep. I don't think anyone woke her up or Sky.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
just crowding around you.
Yeah,
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
are all
no, no.
Jarek looks at Cullimore and says, "And to think she plans on protecting the girl when she doesn't even notice the sound of the orcs waking."
Actually, you guys will notice that Sky is either has been up for some time, or at the very least is up now, and she's just been sitting quietly.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Have we ever seen Sky bleed? That was
No.
random, but have we ever seen her bleed?
No, I don't think you
I think
have.
the answer to that question is no.
No.
None of you have, I don't think.
Most definitively
It's
no.
a good question. It's a good question,
Yeah.
but it just came out of nowhere. It sounded really creepy.
She took some damage, but it was mental damage, so.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Just curious as Cullimore looks, because he's trying to figure out what the hell she is, right?
Right.
So, all right. So Cullimore will, a little bit more gently than Keen, wake up Finn, just with a single awkward, like, just push of a couple fingers on her shoulder, and then he'll step back. Like,
Oh,
eh,
hi.
there.
Hi. Oh.
I'll let you get settled, but I think we're starting to get up.
Oh, so Sky's awake?
Yes, she's just sitting there.
Finn will kind of stare at her a moment and be like, "Are you feeling okay, Sky?"
And then a ghostly response, yes.
Okay, good, good, very good. Very. Finn glares at Jarek and looks back at Sky. Very good. Okay.
All right.
Sky. Can
Sky
you
will-
honest?
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go. That's okay.
I was going to say Sky stands up and looks at you.
We're trying to figure out what to do next, and I know you're very set on going to Homestead, to where you were raised. Do you remember much about your childhood?
She nods.
You would know your parents more than anyone else. We've talked a lot about your father, but who's your mother? Or who was your mother? What did she do?
Sky looks happily at you, and then slowly the look goes to one of thoughtfulness,
Mm-hmm.
and then confusion, and then she scrunches her eyebrows, and then after a while you get a ghostly word that says, fuzzy.
I see.
And then you get, she kind of like looks up, what's the word you would use? defiantly, maybe.
Mhm.
And you hear, as quickly as she can, loving, caring, kind, a bunch of descriptors like that, but nothing really specific.
Yeah. Okay, Sky. I was just curious is all. How about I give kind of a knowing look towards, I suppose, Jarek and Keen in that direction. So,
And then, as I
Mhm.
was going to say, as you turn around, Sky puts a hand on your arm and looks at you very honestly, and then you hear a ghostly, fake?
I don't know. Either it's fake, either it's false. I don't know any reason why, and you have like a memory block. Or it's something else, not of this world. This is kind of outside my wheelhouse. All I kind of know is I'm good at asking questions, but piecing together the answers, I'm not the swiftest.
She nods understandingly, and then with a very resolute look, you hear the ghostly words, must learn.
Yeah, Sky, but the only problem is that we think whoever is masquerading as your father wants you to go to Homestead, which means it's a trap. Which means we might be giving. It's quite clear, or it was pretty clear to us after the battle was done, that the demons were coming for you, and you were alone. They had to fight through us to try to get to you, which means you're important to whomever is in Homestead, right? Not only do we want some answers, but we want to make sure that, first of all, you don't get hurt, and two, that you don't just get used as a tool. So we're trying to figure out now what to do next, whether we continue onwards or if we go back and rethink this whole situation.
Sky looks considerate for a second, and then you hear ghostly words, kill? And then
Kill.
space, and then trap? And then
Kill the
witch. And she points to herself.
Wait, which as in W-I-T-C-H?
No. As in, she'll say again if you're confused.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, okay. So wait, kill or trap?
Which one?
And then she says, last night. Me.
She's
If you're
wondering
asking
if
if
they
we're-
were trying to kill or trap her.
Oh,
No.
I don't know. These things, we didn't leave them alive enough to interrogate them, which is too bad, really.
She
would've
nods
been
and then
interesting.
says, makes difference.
Yeah. Either way, you're important. I don't know. Did anyone have a change of heart after they went to sleep? If anything, I'm more confused as I was before.
No, I'd rather keep going on to Homestead.
I think it would be bad to go in just, without any plan, but I don't think going back
course.
to Whitebridge is a viable option at this point.
Jared
Why not?
rotates his head a few degrees. Go!
Hmm?
Jarek motions with a hand. We need you over here.
Cole will stop preparing his campfire for his food.
Yeah.
Go.
Jarek will
Okay.
move over a little bit. We have some concerns about how to proceed and have argued considerably into the morning while you were resting and are yet at a crossroads. I have raised concerns about proceeding towards Homestead, thinking that it is a ruse to which to lure us away and either entrap our ward, head jerk towards Sky, or to weaken Whitebridge.
I do not see why anything would need to be accomplished in a little, irrelevant township. However, others have raised concerns that to not proceed would be to let the stone, which hasn't been used, fall through our fingertips.
The only thing I would say against the idea, not to say it's not a trap, but it might not be a ruse. Tripp did say that no one has heard from the town since before we left, so a couple days now. That's something. Something's there.
Be hard pressed to actually think that people are trying to lure us away from the town, but very possible to try to have this as a trap to take Sky.
Yep. The only problem is that I would be fine with just stashing Sky someplace safe and going on without her. But what's to stop him sending more of these things? He points now to one of the rotting or somewhat bloated rotting demon bodies. Say what's going to stop them from sending there. And if we split up, we just weaken both sides. So I guess maybe the first question should be, what do we do with Sky before we continue on? Or not?
Well,
I
we
think
can't-
she should... Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying we can't leave her by herself.
Nope. Yeah, that I agree. That's not an option.
It is also not our choice to make. It is hers.
And Jarek nods his head towards Sky again.
Sky looks at Jarek appreciatively, and then you hear, "Go."
What?
She points at Homestead.
Well, you're gonna go to Orr's homestead regardless, aren't you?
She nods and says, "Must learn."
That is perhaps the most pained, argument, against anything that Jarek has said last night. He gives, a defeated, slump of the shoulders.
Jack would actually fly up and land on Keen's shoulder, and he'll say, "Sorry, I was scouting around. I don't see anything. I heard you guys talking. There is one more issue as well. Speed may be important, but there is a contingent of soldiers on their way. If it is a trap we're walking into, I wouldn't mind having 50 soldiers at our back."
That is true.
These soldiers are my concern that this is misdirection and the real target is somewhere within Whitebridge itself. Recent events within the city have left Lady Celine more scattered-brained than usual, and the legion of soldiers might present a weakness, particularly after her recent trials, particularly involving a ritual.
Well, then let's stop the soldiers from coming.
Jarek tilts his head and says,
I think that commanding our liege is beyond any of our capabilities.
The powerful do what they want. It's true.
Jack will cock his head and say, "I'm not a master of strategy, but if I were the leader of a town, and I have had no word from a village for days, and words of demon attacks, I think sending at least a small force to investigate is simply a necessity.
Mhm.
Tired or not."
Well, Sky's gonna go regardless, right? So unless we plan to restrain her, which I don't think anyone is comfortable in doing, we are going to Homestead.
With that in mind, Sky, we could use some knowledge about how Homestead looks, for we have not visited that township ourselves. Building layout, how many people there were when you lived there, those would be informative bits of information.
Nods Sky's happily.
Nod.
Sky nods happily and grabs a stick and starts drawing in the ground. I'm just gonna draw on here.
it's fine.
And she starts. Hang on, let me get a nice big. Let's go red. Let's go extra large. And she starts drawing.
It's pretty large.
She's just running around the field. Just,
That is a fucking massive stick.
No. She's not. This is not to scale. She's not running around. She's just drawing this in the dirt.
Sure. Sure.
And then.
It's a plus.
Yeah.
And then
It's a Celtic cross.
she points to the circle in the center, and then you hear town center. And then she starts drawing. And she points to these, and you hear homes.
Mm-hmm.
And then she points to each of the lanes and says roads. And then she points to the very center, that little circle, and says fountain.
Jarek blinks in confusion, says, I didn't think that Homestead was at a crossroads. He actually starts reach into his pack to furl out the map and look.
She shakes her head and says, roads connect out of town.
Ah.
Point your home to us.
This one.
She.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's closer towards the perimeter. You think your answers would be found in your actual home, correct?
She thinks for a second, shrugs half-heartedly, but
Okay.
nods maybe, yes.
It's a place to start.
Did Homestead manage to, I don't know, in years past, pull together enough of their money to construct a temple of some sort, perhaps where your father served?
She nods her head and says, small, and points over here.
Opposite side.
Jerica looks at Cole, actually being appreciative, look at Cole and says,
Cole, it is impossible to say just what sort of defenses or layouts might be in preparation for us if this is a ruse. How do you think we should approach the situation? Surely scouting ahead would be of use, but the last time we used a raven, it was spotted.
Jack kind of hops nervously from one foot to the next.
That's the other thing, too. If it is Cellar or something that is controlled his body or someone pretending to be Cellar, maybe someone pretending to be Cellar all along, they know who we are and they know about the Raven.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So we have to do a little bit more carefully. I suggest, under the cover of night, one or two people just to do some sort of quick look about, not even entering the town, just see if there's anything obvious. Then in the middle of the night, we sneak towards the house, and that's our first place. But sorry, Cole, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
DM, are demons known to be able to see perfectly at night, regardless of light?
No, it's not known. In fact,
Okay.
the only, to your knowledge, the only things that can are certain creatures that are nocturnal and drow.
Got it.
And I guess, of course, anything that doesn't rely on eyesight, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's always best to not take the main roads if we're trying to be sneaky. Unless we're trying to blend in.
We're not going to blend.
Another thing that we have to note, Sky might have some sort of aura that the demons can sense.
Okay.
So we also have to anticipate if we want to do this quickly, to try to surprise them even with their senses. I'll have to look over this a bit more, see a good vantage point.
It is possible, although I think unlikely, that the demons knew of Sky's location simply through logical deduction, and that we were tracked during our travels. And simply put, the spotters who were spotting us were not in turn noticed.
a look over towards Keen.
What? I was asleep.
Well,
Poor Jared.
What?
Yes, you were asleep at night, but what of the day?
He was awake during the day. Finn blinks.
oh God.
-1, guys.
I found the tracks that got us here. What?
Jarek lets it go with a shrug.
Okay.
Well.
So
Okay, so yes, that's a big so. So,
I'm going to have to, with a good tactical plan of which area we would like to enter in, where we'd want to go, so on and so forth. I think I'm going to have to probably get a bit more information, look over this a bit more.
Sky points to herself, and you hear the ghostly ask.
All right. So, if this is a crossroad fountain, what is the main area that we'd want to go to? Just the town itself?
She looks around hesitantly, unsure.
Well, that's a big part of how to do this plan.
She points to the two spots, her home and the temple, and then shrugs and looks at Pearson.
We were thinking about looking at her home first.
Well, I assume that we want to do that without drawing attention. You had to tell us how many entrances. Windows would even work. Any sort of cellar.
She says, one window. She holds up one finger and says window. And then holds up finger again and says door. And then she holds up no fingers and says cellar.
Do you have a grading system? Or how do you put that? What's the system under the grate? We used it earlier.
A sewer?
Sure.
Sewer?
A sewer? I doubt that Homestead is of sufficient size or wealth as to actually permit a sewer.
Sky shakes her, nods her head in agreement with Jarek. She says, she draws, or she points to herself, and then you hear few thousand, and then after a pause, people, and then after another pause, small.
Let's see. We're going to have to find out if there's any... Is there any borders to this town? Walls? God.
Sky shakes her head, and then she begins to draw again. Hang on, let me draw this and that, and then it goes like that.
A wooden palisade.
There you go.
It's a
whoops, why is that not
Pokeball.
working? Why is that not working? Oh well. Look, I'm just going to draw this. Basically, she draws a road that goes around the town, and then it looks like a crossroads, but really all it is the road circles the town, and that's a street that cuts across the town, but connects with that road again. But that's it. There's no walls.
Okay. I say we go in, try to enter the town as stealthily as possible. If they detect Sky, then we're going to be detected anyway. So why don't we just hedge our bets under the assumption that they can't?
I draw
Right.
good.
All 6 of us, including Horseflesh, could not attempt such an endeavor.
Jared
Oh,
points
we
a
ditched
thumb
the
back
horses.
at Waga. Jared points a thumb back at Waga.
I also doubt he would be so inclined.
Waga snickers and says, "You'd be surprised."
That's our
Jared-
Waga.
Jared cooks his head.
It's not a question of capability, it's a question of desire.
Wagga nods vigorously and says, yeah, one of the best ways to kill something is to come up from behind. The fight always starts afterwards anyway.
Jarek says.
At any rate, I can't.
You dress in black. If you just follow our lead,
That
you
reminds
should be
me,
okay.
I need to roll, because you guys may have gotten a level up, but he did not technically. Oh good, he can use his Berserker Rage again. Sorry, don't mind me.
What, did the level up included full heal up as well after one encounter?
No, the level up
Okay.
itself didn't, but the travel there is going to take at least a day, so unless you guys decide not to use that.
Okay.
Yeah. I would at least give you guys your recoveries back, if not your spells, because it's going to take you at least a day to get there, and they're called dailies, so...
Woo! No recoveries!
So, are you sure that we don't want to use Jack at
No,
night?
I'm not saying that we shouldn't use. Yeah, a raven at night will be very hard to spot. I say, this is my suggestion. We go up there till we're just a little ways away. We take just a very, very large perimeter scout until nightfall, and then we enter the town.
Jarek shakes his head.
A raven at night will be hard to spot. How well can a raven spot at night?
In a lit town?
Lit? What kind of fanciful devices do you think they possess?
And Sky
Street lamps?
hesitantly nods her head again and says, dark.
This town doesn't have candles? Okay.
Not enough to cast bright lights that would be easily perceptible.
I think the way
At the very least,
I was gonna say, you guys should maybe it's better to view it this way. It's a village, a small village, not a town.
it's true. I've done heritage towns, heritage villages before. You'd be surprised how dark it gets when there's no electricity.
A lot of historical reenactment. I've made candles myself, and they don't cast that much light.
Yeah, you guys would know this. Any map would tell you. It's, and like Sky said, it's about a few thousand, maybe 2,000 people. Small village, no walls, no electricity. Well, because there's cities with electricity.
At the very least, oh, sir.
That and the lights aren't used that much either, due to high flammability of the houses and constructs that are used within the town.
So honestly, Jack could still help with the perimeter during the daytime, even though. Let's assume the worst, and the place is entirely overrun with these demons, right? Our enemies who know us know about Jack, but I doubt every single soldier of theirs would. So a perimeter with Jack should be fine, at the very least.
Yes, it would be serviceable.
Jack nods and he says, it may not be the best spotting at night, but the chances of a simple raven flying through town causing problems. And then he pauses and goes, well, there might be a few brooms.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Well, any adjustments to the plan that I suggested?
Well,
No.
this isn't really a defensible place. It's like trying to sneak up to somebody on a plane.
We're
Well,
coming in
accessible.
there just for information, really, right? We don't need to defend this place. What's already happened to it has happened. We're just here to get some answers.
Yes, it's more of the approach. Usually the more defense, the easier it is to sneak.
That's true. But there'll be a lot of buildings. It'll be dark. If we have good timing, we have our ears open, it can be possible. We'll have to ditch the horses, though.
Yeah.
Or use them as a distraction, perhaps. Of course, then we have no way to get back. But,
Well, it also depends on how well trained Jarek's horse is. Isn't that right?
Why
And you
does it
get your
depend
horse-
on that?
Well, if we can tie all the horses up to each other and then have your horse lead them through the center of town, causing a distraction, might be interesting.
Jarek says,
For starters, I've not trained my horse to do that. Second, my horse is not strong enough to tug that many others.
Okay.
All right.
We don't need to use the horses as a distraction. We'll just keep them tied up and go back to them when we're done.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, I suppose we get ourselves to fill our bellies and head up. We're still like what, at least a day away, DM?
Yeah, you're about a day away. And that's not
We
riding
have-
hard, so yeah.
We have a day's worth of riding to go over the details or any problems we might have.
All right. Then, unless there's any role playing you guys want to do, we can say that you eat breakfast and get ready to go and get Wagga and Pearson up on their horses.
Oh, yeah.
I will say at one point, Sky looks at the broken staff from the night before and then leaves it on the floor, shaking her head, and then just says, "No fighting."
Good call.
Just a very quick question. Can I pull back this beast, Squee?
The deer?
I sent you a massage.
Oh, son of a biscuit. All right, hang on. Pull back. Yes, you can.
Yay!
All right. Cole, who went on a hunting for the morning, I guess for breakfast, pulls back. Send that to everyone.
Alright, I will send this to the group chat. That's not the correct group chat. That's not the correct group. There it goes. I have so many group chats now.
He brought back a duck goat.
What?
Right.
What?
Horrifying. It's horrifying.
Thanks.
Okay.
It's good.
Great. All right. What's the next scene, DM?
Would be the edge of town, unless you guys want to, we can say that you arrive on the outskirts of town as night falls. Tie your
That's good
horses up.
timing.
Well, I would assume you guys were planning that.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. So,
I was about to like prompt Cullimore with like a coincidence type thing.
Yeah.
We arrive just
no.
as night falls, Cullimore.
I assume you
don't
guys
believe it
would
is.
adjust your pace to try and aim for that time
Oh, okay.
period.
And
Then we'll say you're however close you want to go before get to the town before you stop.
A mile would be sufficient. Find a grove, walk the 20 minutes or so to actually get to Homestead.
I agree.
Find a grove in which to tether the horses, and if I don't come back for a few days, Heinrich will just eat the other horses. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And
That's fine.
you find that it looks like as everything gets dark, that it is a new moon, so it is going to be rather dark this
Oh,
night.
good.
Which would be
Perfect.
advantageous or not.
Awesome.
Very much so.
All right then. And then how do you want to go about it? I don't want to send you guys over to the other map before I decide how you guys are going to.
Okay, well, first things first, during the setting sun,
Mhm.
I would like to ask Keen to ask Jack if the Raven could just do a quick fly over the city and let us know if there's anything obvious to spot.
You heard him, little guy. Go.
Jack nods his head, flies away, comes back, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, however long it takes a bird to fly, and he lands back on Keen's shoulder, and you've never actually seen a raven look sick, but he looks
boy.
almost sick, and he says, "Dead. They're all dead."
Oh,
Joy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He pauses and goes back and says, "No movement. I saw nothing but bodies."
Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure at least the demons were here.
Mm-hmm. We might be just walking through a deserted town, but we better assume that we're not.
Yeah.
I still think we should go to the home first and then to the church and see if that leads us anywhere. Maybe it'll spark Sky's memory at the very least. Hey Jack, can you tell what they all died from?
Jack nods. Among the bodies, there were a few like what we killed last night.
Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did so many get into... Fuck. Cullimore says. Okay.
It
Any
is a good
changes to the
question.
plan? Yeah, it is.
Where do demons come from?
From hell, I reckon.
Jarek?
Jarek snorts and says,
This is neither the time nor place to give a cultural and racial lesson on the affair.
Well, whenever there is an infestation, usually knowing where their home is or where they come from is a pretty good way of snuffing them out.
You sound as if you're more comfortable and familiar with hunting demons than I am.
I don't know
Yeah, mate.
about comfortable, but I don't mind killing.
Jarek says, I don't know. I've not had cause to hunt much in the way of demons. Demons aren't.
and I think the GM can say, not exactly like a rare thing, like roving packs of demons and
Yeah, you would know that there are multiple planes of existence that have
Yes.
demons. So
Yeah, it's not like a thing in Coalhaven where it's like, oh, a bunch of demons popped up and raided Iron Hall and murdered people in broad daylight and then completely destroyed a town. Not exactly a thing that happened in Coalhaven.
yeah, and Trip could also chime in a little bit, saying that since he is from other places, that there are many dimensions or planes of existence that they could have come from. There's no way to know.
That and demons themselves are so mercurial that their mere habits are impossible to fathom. They change.
Great. All right. Well, does anyone want to sing a song while we wait for it to get completely dark?
Waga's like, I do.
Oh, okay.
You asked for
Just sing-
this.
just
You
sing
asked
quietly,
for
Wagga.
this.
And Waga launches into a song of his people.
So it's like.
Cole finds it strangely beautiful.
Tear trap.
All right. So you guys can wait until nightfall. What section of the town would you like to start coming in from? You are, let's say, when you're looking at this map, you're approaching from the north, or no, I'm sorry, from the
For the east?
east. Thank you.
I would vote that we go this side. That covers the less distance between here and the home.
I'm
Yeah.
all right. I'm all right with southeast. Because that's where the
Southeast?
home is, the southeast, right?
That's the
It's
northeast.
northeast.
Okay, then northeast.
Northeast.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on one second. Let me move you guys all over there. Okay. Then you guys approach the town. I assume you're moving silently. At least until you get to the edge of town, you have no resistance. You hear no movements, no sounds, no nothing.
I'm gonna ease up to Sky before this. I'm gonna
Okay.
like ease my one of my gloved hands into hers, since we're gonna be like the slowest and most like precarious and prone to like failing of the lot here in the approach. We need to stick together. Yeah, I would like for her not to let go of the hand. I will
Sky-
even insist on this.
No, Sky will certainly hold on to your hand.
Good.
Okay. So I guess that's the big question: is who should take the lead as far as leading people throughout here? This is less the woods and more of a slightly urban environment, so Cullimore is willing, unless one of the others feels that they're more confident in it.
Cole is well versed in towns, maybe doesn't know all the names and things, but he's at least good enough to travel without feeling.
Okay.
I might have to adjust something quick. I'm assuming you guys are going with no torches and the like, yes?
Correct.
All right,
Yeah.
hang on a second. I'll have to change everyone's token just a tad, but not too much.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Cullimore will say he'll just explain that he spent a lot of his a lot of his youth in the dark, avoiding the guards. So this is something that's definitely within his wheelhouse. If you're fine with it, I can take a lead. The important thing is to say it's most of the time, it's all about timing. Stay close with me. Don't lag behind too much. We should be okay.
There you go. You guys can see it is a very dark night, so you can see about 10 feet in front of you. I will say that if you decide to light a torch, or if Jarek uses his staff, you could probably see about 30 feet, but it is a dark night. No moon. So
Yeah,
probably
no.
to your advantage. All right, and then you guys are free to move about. I'll keep Sky next to Jarek.
Okay.
If you don't want to handle the tedium, you can temporarily give me control of the token.
I
and
will
can
be
move it.
more than happy to do that. Controlled by. Yeah, I'll just do controlled by all players, and we'll just let you handle it. There you go. You
Okay.
should be able to move her now.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind if Pearson leads.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, do you want me to take some skill checks here, or do you want me for me to move my guys slowly throughout the town, like very slowly, so I'm not waving
Yeah,
all over
just
the place?
very slowly move your
Okay.
guy throughout the town. If I need you to make a skill check, I will do so, but I won't have you waste the time if you don't need to.
All right. There we go. There's the first house. We'll crop up against this side of it.
And Sky shakes her head. That's not her house.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just take a peek around the corner and then see if we can't dash across the street real quick.
Coming, Walker?
Yeah,
Like
Waka's coming.
sewer all
Actually,
over
here, let
again.
me give you
Oh.
control of him too for now. There you go.
At this point, Pearson, I think, notices something of his peripheral, but I'm pretty sure that's a body, so let's not go
Yes.
that direction.
That is a body.
All right, is this Sky's place?
No.
Okay.
She points. Jarek's the only one that can see, but she points down further south.
Okay.
Down further south.
Okay. Keep quiet. Keen. Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Crouch around this side of the house. Oh boy, and don't step on any bodies.
Yum.
Okay. Pearson's gonna wait for everyone to bunch up around this house here before we make a dash across the street. All right. He's gonna take a quick look around, make sure everything's okay, and then creepa. There we go. Spotted a corner.
Sky will. Actually, I'll have to wait until she gets close enough.
Yeah, I'll wait for everyone
Yeah.
to assemble.
Well, when Sky gets close enough, she's going to point directly to your left and nod.
This?
Yeah,
No.
where Keen is.
Okay. Once everyone gets within each other here.
Once you guys get to that side,
Yeah.
however, you do hear voices, and
Okay.
you hear voices, and you see a light of some sort flickering from. Can you guys see that from that direction?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw that ping.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, looks like no one's talking right now. Culmore is going to gesture inside the house, as in everyone should get inside of here first. So now, is there a door on our end or no?
No, you're gonna have to feel around for it to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Culmore will gesture for everyone to stay where they are, and he's going to go towards the north and feel around for a door or a window.
You feel a door on that side.
Okay. He's going to very gently try the lock to see if it's locked.
Nope.
Okay. He's
right.
going to come back to the corner.
Mhm.
Am I good to still continue?
Yes.
Okay. He'll gesture for everyone to follow him.
I don't have a map for the inside of the house, so I'm just going to
That's
tell you
okay.
what you see.
We can just put our markers inside the house, and
Yeah.
then that's that.
What you guys see, of course, it's rather dark, but you see a general house, a table, a kitchen, dishes, beds. There is as far as you can tell, a middle-aged woman and 2 youngish children, all dead, kind of viciously murdered.
All right. Comer's going to close the door behind us, and in the dark, he'll whisper, "The walls will cover our sound a little bit, but I saw some light and heard some voices just southeast of here. We might want to crack open a window and see if we can't hear anything."
Southeast? I thought it was southwest.
Oh, sorry, I don't know my directions. And then he nods and says, "Yeah, southwest, I got to turn around."
All right. You crack a window, and it is so deathly quiet that you can clearly hear voices ringing out. It sounds like there's some distance, about 100 feet or so, towards the center of the town. But like I said, it's so quiet that you clearly hear a conversation. Do you guys want to listen in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. You hear a very familiar voice say, "Is it done?" It's the voice of a cleric priest that you once knew. And then you hear a very sickly, gravelly voice say, "Do not command me." And then you hear, "I know you're not afraid of me, but you and even your king fears my master. Is it done?" And then you hear, "It is as you asked for, but where is your end of the bargain?" And you hear, "On the ground, under the fountain, you'll find it there. Take it to your precious king with my regards, as a token of goodwill to our alliance." And then you hear, "Very well." And at that time, I was going to say at that time, Trip flies out the window.
Oh.
And a few seconds later, you hear, "My lord, you should know. They're here. They're listening."
Oh, shit.
And then you hear,
Everyone get out.
"Oh!
Towards the fountain. Get out now.
Well, my friends, you appear to be..." And you hear this shouting by now.
Sure,
Harder-
great. He can shout while we're moving.
Yeah.
Go, King, go.
Harder to predict than I thought.
Not that far.
Where are we going? Which way? This way?
Follow me. Fountains
something
towards the
breaking
center
out.
of the
Okay.
city.
Okay.
Keep going.
Why don't you come out here and we'll talk?
Jarek has a smug smile on his face the entire fucking time.
Wait. Cullimore stops for a moment, and then he kind of just whispers very, very quietly, "Should we talk?" "Wait. I'll talk. I'll distract him. You go towards the fountain and find out what's there. Yeah?"
Okay. Which way's the fountain?
Okay.
And at that time, hang on, I'm trying to see if there's a way to reveal. Actually, there might be a way.
Careful.
You see, basically, because there's light coming from the fountain, I'll just tell you, you can see the fountain, the glowing light. It looks like a magical circle on the ground, and a flickering image of Seller, much taller than he should be normally. But it doesn't look like him, it looks more of an apparition.
Okay.
And he calls out to you, he's not quite sure where you are. He says, "I assure you, I can't hurt you in this form, nor can you hurt me. Might as well reward you for tracking me down."
You can't set objects and roll 20 to like cast light so that we could see locations.
Say what? I'm sorry?
You can't set objects, but then like roll 20 to cast light for us so that we could see locations.
Actually, hang on. Let me try.
And then we'll see everything.
I'm trying to find an object that it's not letting me click on any of the objects. Why is it not letting me click on the objects? Nope. I can't do that. The only object I could do that, I'm not about to.
All right.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Yeah, so Cullimore would just go back towards the party and be like, is it a plan?
I know this is the worst time to do it, but I am about to really pee. Give me about
Okay,
5
well,
minutes. You guys discuss your plan.
Okay.